All right, in today's video, we're talking the X Factor. That is the Glock 43X Factor. Lots of people out there think the Glock 43X is the ideal concealed carry pistol. Let's find out, see what you think. Glock designed the 43X specifically for concealed carry and to have a higher capacity than the Glock 43. You remember the Glock 43? It was introduced in 2015, and then I don't know if you remember, but the Sig Sauer P365 came as an answer from Sig to the Glock 43, and that came out in about 2018. The only problem with the Sig P365 is it was plagued with problems. So you know what that means. So then the 43X came out, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Glock answered Sig with a shootable, actually reliable, 10-round magazine, single stack, 9mm concealed carry pistol known as the Glock 43X, the X Factor. So what it does is it takes the Glock 43 and it extends, hence the name Glock 43X, it extends the handle or the carry capacity from 6 rounds in the magazine to 10 rounds in the magazine. And it keeps the same dimensions overall with the exception of the handle, which increases the round capacity to 10 rounds. And that's where the X Factor comes in. So my purpose in this review today is not an exhaustive review of the Glock 43X, but it's just my opinion based on specifically concealed carry of the Glock 43X. Now before we continue, just a word from our sponsor. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we don't have a sponsor. Just go and get one of these cool t-shirts. The link is right up here, and that'll help the channel out greatly. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming. So when I choose an effective concealed carry gun, I consider it based on 3 factors. My greatest 3 considerations for a concealed carry gun are size, capacity, and caliber. So my concealed carry formula is always to choose the smallest size gun that is shootable, does not severely limit ammunition capacity, and effectively shoots a lethal self-defense round. So let's look at how well the Glock 43X fits that formula. So first of all, size of the 43X. The overall length of the Glock 43X is 6¼ inches long, which makes it incredibly easy to conceal and very pleasant and well balanced to shoot. You can see that thing just disappears on my waistline. And by the way, if you're wondering, because I know you're going to ask, the link for the holster I use, the Max by Tactipac, it is down in the description below. This is the Max IWB with the lever, which helps reduce printing along that handle. It kicks it in towards your body, and this is done in the multicam black. And then I'm carrying a spare magazine in just the basic Max inside the waistband basic mag carrier. Again, the link is in the description below for those. The thickest dimension for the 43X on the width is 1 inch, which is incredibly slim. It is a single stack slimline series from Glock, and it does make that thing just disappear inside your waistband. It is pretty ideal for concealed carry as far as the width goes. Now let's talk about height. Height is the single most determining factor for concealed carry. And if you can't deal with the handle of that gun inside the waistband, in other words, do something to mitigate the butt of that gun sticking out, then this is the portion that's going to get you for concealed carry. The height on the Glock 43X is just at 5 inches, so basically fits the compact size. Even though it is a subcompact or slimline design overall, the length on the handle is increased to 5 inches. As opposed to just above 4 inches in the Glock 43, and so that increases that handle. And so what you want to be able to do is get that handle in towards your abdomen, and this holster with that lever, as I told you, it does that very, very well. So with the correct holster, it's no problem concealing, and it's actually a really simple gun to conceal in the right setup. So height is the overall dimension from the floor plate of the magazine to the top of that rear sight. and that comes in right at about 5 inches in the Glock 43X. So that is the most critical dimension that you want to consider when carrying concealed, and I believe the 43X is a good balance because you have to consider being able to grip that gun. I know we threw that SIG in the trash a minute ago, so let me retrieve that and show you what I mean. When you talk about the height of the gun, you want to be able to get a full purchase on that gun coming out of the waistband. So when you have too small of a handle and you can't get a full purchase on that gun, or it disappears in the waistline and you're not able to find that, that's not something you want in a concealed carry pistol. And so I believe you can go 2 micro on some of the micro guns. But the 43X, as I said, it balances that out very well as compared to the 43. If I can get those side by side and show you, you can see the extended length there. It allows you to get that full firing grip and to come right up out of the holster and be ready to do business. So while we're talking about height of the gun, that's going to take us to capacity. And this has a standard Glock 10 round magazine. And so you have 10 rounds in the mag, and you can top it off and have 1 in the chamber. And I believe that is plenty effective for 99.9% of all self-defense or dynamic critical incidents that you will encounter. Now, there are the 0.1% situations out there where you're going to need possibly more than 10 rounds to defend yourself or someone you love, or you get into an incident where you're going to need a little bit higher capacity. You're going to have to be proficient at reloads if you're going to carry the 43X because it only has a 10-round capacity. So while we're on dimensions, I'd like to mention that the 43X weighs in at about a little over 18 ounces, 18.7 ounces to be precise. Add ammo depending on the self-defense ammo you choose, and you're going to add another 4 ounces to that. So now that we've mentioned the overall size and dimensions of the gun, we've talked about the capacity, let's talk about the caliber of the Glock 43X concealed carry pistol. The Glock 43X is chambered in 9mm, as I said, with a 10-round capacity. 1 in the chamber, so that will give you 11 total rounds of 9mm Luger at your disposal for self-defense. So why would I choose a 9mm in a gun like the 43X over a larger caliber? Well, over the years I've owned 45 and 40 caliber guns and I've used them for self-defense, and that can be a long discussion of 9mm over 40 versus 45. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But as far as I'm concerned, I believe 9mm is the best choice for self-defense, and here's why. First, magazines simply hold more 9mm than 40 or 45. So it's a capacity issue. You can get more 9mm self-defense rounds in the same square inches that you can of 40 or 45. So the guns hold more ammo, but the gun also recoils less because 9mm is a lower recoil than 45 or 40, and so it's easier to manage recoil. Consequently, it is easier to get follow-up shots on target. So what about lethalness? You know, that's the final decision in a gun that you're going to carry, and so when you're considering 9mm, you want to know that it's a lethal round. In my limited understanding of ballistics and the things I've looked at over the years, modern self-defense round technology makes 9mm perform at a very lethal level. And it does perform just as well as those larger calibers when the entire picture is taken into consideration. Certainly, you're going to get a larger wound from a 45 or a 40 than a 9mm. But if you can put more shots on target with 9mm, and say you get 3-to-1 hits on target, combat accurate hits with 9mm, you're going to be just as lethal. Even if you only get 1 9mm as opposed to none in a 40 or 45, that is more lethal because you can control the weapon. So for overall effectiveness in size, capacity, and caliber, why not choose 9mm and why not choose the Glock 43X? It is a great, well-balanced pistol for self-defense overall and definitely for concealed carry. That's my take on the subject, but obviously that's a decision that you need to make, and hopefully this information helps you. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the lethalness of 9mm versus 40 versus 45. So now that I've gone over what I consider to be the most important factors of the Glock 43X for concealed carry, let's look at some other considerations about this little gun. One of the biggest selling points for me, in addition to size, capacity, and caliber, is versatility. And that goes with all the Glocks, not just the Glock 43X. Glock is popular. It's very popular because it works. And consequently, the firearms accessory market is flooded with Glock aftermarket parts options that you can make this gun anything you want it to be. So if you need it, somebody has it for the Glock 43X. I promise you that. So some other things to consider is this thing was designed for comfort. I don't know if you noticed the rounded off handle as compared to some of the other Glocks, but this thing really is designed for comfort. From the shortness of the barrel and to the rounded off features of it, and the basically recessed of everything on the gun as far as the controls go, from the mag release to the slide catch lever down to the trigger guard itself, and the smoothness, and as I said, rounded off edges of the grip assembly. And then even the mag well itself has got the little flare. It is not a big flared mag well, but it is a very comfortable mag well with just a small slope that gets your pinky right there on the edge of that grip perfectly. And so it is overall very well designed for concealed carry comfort. And literally you can carry this thing all day in the right holster and you won't even know that you have it on. One other thing to mention is it does have the reversible magazine release lever, and so you can set that up for right-handed or left-handed shooters. And then it does have that real-world grip texture, which to me it's not too aggressive, but it is not minimal either. It has a very medium type texturing. They call it the real-world texture on that grip handle, and it really makes it nice and comfortable, and you know it's there, but it's not going to eat your hand away in a 500 to 1,000 round class as you're manipulating that firearm all day. So overall, in my choice of an effective and reliable concealed carry gun, the Glock 43X is very high on my list. It is a near perfect combination of size, capacity, and caliber, with Glock reliability that goes unmatched anywhere in the industry. Then one of the greatest things I can say about this little gun is value. You can pick this gun up for right at $450 at the shooting of this video at some of the major big box retailers in America. That means with a shooting sports program or an LEO Glock Blue Label program, you can pick this gun up closer to $400 if you find the right deal. And that is really a bargain for an ultra reliable, ultra comfortable concealed carry gun that you can bet your life on. The Glock 43X really is a supreme value when you consider everything else that's out there, and that's pretty hard to beat. So as I said in the beginning of this video, a lot of people think this is the ideal carry gun, and for good reason. It's lightweight, it has a slim profile, and it's easy to conceal. But the biggest advantage is how the Glock 43X handles. This thing is very, very easy to shoot, as you can see. It is a well-balanced gun that's easy to carry, and it's simple to shoot, and I think that puts it up really, really high on the list. But is the X factor right for you? Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Glock 43X. Do you already own one? Are you planning to get one? Or do you carry something else? As always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and God bless you and yours.